All right, Remarkable Lifer. So we are going out and about. We have some errands that we need to run. We need to pick up some basic groceries and stuff. And everyone says that it's okay. So we're going out and about, and we'll find out. And the grocery stores here are normally busy, but that's a little busier than normal. Buses are running, and there's clearly, we've just passed municipal police making patrols. Restaurant's open. Restaurant is open. That's Donde Charlie. Woohoo! And we've got businesses open. Bus stops working, functioning. I mean, it looks just normal as normal. Yeah, I mean, traffic's even kind of normal. The Tuesday market is open. The dog
Although it's
open.
not as busy as it normally is.
No, the Tuesday market's usually jam-packed, and it was just a normal busy. But we've got some restaurants and the French bakery. So here we go. Oh, we got all kinds of people here out. On bikes, walking. Everybody's out and about, doing their errands. We're gonna head to the farmacia. Okay, so I just went into the drugstore and got me the pharmacy and got me my meds that I need for my little meds that I take. And everybody was great and wonderful and kind, and I made sure I asked them, like, how are you doing? Are you okay? She's like, I said, I know. But we, that's the great part. The community kind of really watches out for each other and cares, and that's big. So we're gonna hit a grocery store and get the few things we need, and we'll show you that. Everything's stocked. So we just went to the little bitty local supermarket, and it was busier than normal. It looked like there were a lot more people in there avoiding going down to the big Walmart. So it was a little busier than normal, and we're going to do something we don't normally do, but we're going to go to the Tuesday market. We don't normally do that, but we were like, why not? It's local.
Yeah.
Pasta, salmon. What'd you get?
I got pies.
Nothing of any nutritional value whatsoever. I got nothing. He got pie.
So that's why I wasn't sure what you were.
Uneventful so far. Everything's still going great. The bus is running. We just went to an OXXO and got gas and some things inside, and then we did all these little trips. We're staying pretty close to home, within a mile, and just doing what we need to do and going back home. But it looks like everybody's out and about. There's a little bit of shell shock in people's faces, like, are we good? Are we good? And, definitely trying to be very kind and thoughtful. Oh! Someone's cart just about rolled across in front of us. but very kind and thoughtful to the people who are out and about as well. The locals especially, you know, we're asking, how are you? Are you okay? Is your family okay? You know, and trying to be positive.
And we run into several people we know, several subscribers. They were all very hi y'all, and they were very thankful for the videos we've been putting out the last couple of days. You know, just showing what's really going on here
Just the facts.
locally. Yeah. So
that's kind of where we're at. We're going to run into Poncho's here because there's a couple of things we couldn't find, and it's near. We don't usually go here, but we want to check it out. This is busy for this time of day. Huevos, mantequilla, crema, café, crema café y leche. What'd you find? KJ's a kid in a candy store. I knew I'd find you in the cookie aisle.
crackers.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
Junk food. We bought pizzas too because they're cheaper than ordering, and you know, while we're staying at home.
Right.
KJ's also going a little crazy. This is why I don't bring him in here. Okay, so we're back home, and we made it. It was pretty uneventful. Smaller crowds, in some places, bigger crowds than others. You know, lots of people getting groceries and that kind of thing. Still not crazy. We only waited in line for one person, so it's not that urgent here. Everybody's using their senses and, you know, doing what they need to do and getting home.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, KJ?
I mean, Ajijic almost looks like it's somewhat, you know, returning to normal and that sort of thing. And the governor of Chapala has lifted the code red alert and all that sort of stuff. And everyone's trying to get back to normal. But now, with all that being said, I don't want anyone watching our videos to think that we're minimizing what's going on, because, you know, what's going on is real. You know, the burnings of buses and cars and people being dragged out of their cars and people losing their businesses and all that sort of stuff. It is real. And while that may not be happening here in Ajijic, it has been happening in Puerto Vallarta. It has happened in Guadalajara. I mean, we just saw a news report where an hour ago there was a car fire in Tlaquepaque. Maybe that's a CFE truck coming to get our electrical back on in our
electric was off when we got home.
But, you know, so it's very important, you know, we're not trying to minimize what's going on. We're just trying to give you guys the information about what's happening here in Ajijic. So with that being said, you know, one of the things that we were talking to some of our Mexican friends, and one of the things that they brought up is that, you know, they see posts from immigrants and stuff like that, you know, online, and they're sitting back and they're drinking their margaritas and, you know, just, oh, there's nothing wrong. This is da 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 da. Remember, those immigrants, those expats, whatever they call themselves, they're probably in a bubble. And if it's not directly affecting them, they probably just don't really care.
Yeah, that's not the norm, though.
That's not the norm, no.
What we're seeing is so many people with compassion and understanding of what is really going on and how it affects Mexican people a lot stronger than it affects us, all of that stuff. So it's not the norm, but we are seeing some, you know, let them eat cake kind of.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, but that's not everyone. You know, excuse me. You know, and another thing is, you know, something else that we've seen is, you know, our Mexican friends have talked to us, and they're, you know, something that everybody's seeing is people getting on and posting online about, you know, well, you know, the U.S. is so much more dangerous than Mexico and da-da-da-da-da, and like comparing and all that. And that's really not a good idea, because when you're doing that, you're minimizing what is happening here in Mexico. And this is real and it is scary. And, if somebody you're going down the street and somebody stop you and drug you out of your car and you're miles away from home, or you've got kids or someone elderly with you, it's scary. So, the emotional impact is real. It really is.
Yeah, there's a trauma that's associated with it. And there's also a reality that, in general, for lack of better words, the cartel's really trying to control the local population and let them know who's boss, and
to instill fear.
And so
it's a tactic.
And it works because they know what they're capable of. Whether or not this is one of those times or not is a different story. So.
Yeah. So, it's kind of like the one thing that we have noticed, is something we would really love to point out, is the resiliency of the people who live here. This activity, the cartel activity, it has been going on for decades, for forever, and what we're seeing, especially from our Mexican friends and stuff like that, is life does have to go on. This happens, you get out, you clean the streets, you do your thing, you open your business, you do what you have to do. And the generosity and kindness of people, the stories that we've heard and we've seen where, people are in a weird situation and they're away from home, or and other a local family will take them in and feed them and shelter them for the night and help them. Those kind of stories are real, and that shows the resiliency of the Mexican people, who they have to deal with this. They've dealt with it their whole lives, for generations, and that's the beautiful thing that you can see in this, is how the community pulls together and still takes care of each other and helps each other, and that's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, so for me, I'm sitting here seeing, and I made sure, like when we went into the pharmacy and everything, I made sure you acknowledge it and say, hey, are you doing okay? Checking on your Mexican friends and the people who are serving us. They're the ones that are impacted. Are your friends or your family okay? They genuinely appreciate it, and it's definitely a source of connection. And I really value that. And not being like, hey, I'm here to buy all of the toilet paper so that your people can't get toilet paper. I don't mean to say your people, but you know what I'm saying. We went and we bought a normal amount of groceries. We just bought differently, things that would last.
Yeah, I didn't see anybody hoarding things.
No, there's not this big scare of everybody loading their carts like there was the day of COVID. And I'm guilty of that one. I got to notice that COVID was happening. I don't remember that, KJ? I got to notice that COVID was happening and they were locking down everything as I was standing in the grocery store. And it was a notice that not everybody else got. And I went out and put everything in my car, and then I went back in and got groceries again. Sorry. Actually, it worked out really well for us, and we didn't have to go hoard. We were able to get through that initial few days. So I just encourage everybody, just buy what you need to buy. Buy the things that will be shelf stable. Make sure you have something on hand. Get your extra water and all of that in case there is a stay-at-home order again. What I'm seeing is that it's calming down. There's always going to be residuals happening and all of that, but it's starting to slow down, and that's a really reassuring sign to get back to normal life, and let whoever needs to deal with it deal with it. I'm not trying to be flippant about it. We're not trying to be dismissive about it. We recognize that there were people that lost their lives. There are people that are suffering, people that are right in the heart of things that are happening and are scared. So we just want to acknowledge that and say we don't know what that's like, but we know what this is like, and we know what makes sense to how to kind of be about it. And that's have some compassion, and there's no comparison. This is unique. This whole cartel thing and the country of Mexico is such a unique issue. And to politicize it any more than it already is, don't do that.
Yeah, but the main thing is, stay calm.
Yeah, stay calm.
Follow official news sources. Don't lose your mind and start getting stupid.
Pay attention. The other thing is please, 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 please know that what we are seeing coming out of the United States and what we are seeing here on the ground are two completely different things. While there's a grain of truth across the whole thing, what we are seeing is sensationalized news cycle, repeat, same scenes over again, and saying, "Oh my gosh, all these people are dead." Yes, they are, but it was in the clashes, not people being pulled out of their homes and cars, and
and killed
just for the fun of killing.
Right.
Are the cartels interested in if you get in the way? Probably not. That's why we're all at home. But again, nothing here lakeside right now.
In
Ajijic. We've seen patrols going by. We've seen people out and about. We've seen calm and peace and compassion all around. And that's pretty beautiful. The resilience is beautiful. I don't feel like I'm in any imminent danger right now. But you keep your eye on it and your ear to the ground, and you make sure you are aware, and that's the responsible thing to do. So that's all I have to say. So just reminding everybody, keep calm. We wanted to show you a little bit of on the ground today and our first trip out, and it was pretty normal. And
it wasn't normal for us.
No, it wasn't normal for us.
We went to places that we don't normally go to just to.
And KJ went snack crazy.
I did. I don't normally go snack crazy, and I was hungry, and that's not you're not supposed to go shopping when you're hungry, and we did it, and yeah.
There is pie, there is cookies, there's crackers. I got it all on video. Anyway, I can't eat any of it, so I'm stuck with my standards. But all right. Hey, you know what? Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for all the compliments. We're just trying to be us and trying to be real. And that's why these videos are off the cuff. They're not overproduced or anything like that. We just want to get you information and get a real story from on the ground. And remind you that if you haven't already,
stay safe and go find your truly remarkable life.
Yes. Thank you.